Alrighty then. What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Welcome back to our Monday night online mic. That is, if you've been here before, if this is your first time, this is our little corner of the internet where we host an online show, an online open mic. And like any other open mic, if you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. So today we have a somewhat of a shorter list than usual. And if you do want to sign up, now is the chance to try it. Now is the time to do it. In order to sign up, all you have to do is click on the link in the description. There's a sign up link, fill it out, and we will get uh, that info sent to a document that I have on another monitor. We got a whole list going on. We have people joining us. We are based out of El Paso, Texas. But because this is online, we have people joining us from all over the country, all around the world, and it's super fun to connect with people in that way. As always, this is a platform, so definitely we want to celebrate and hear people's words, their art, their creativity, and celebrate it. And of course, if you have a chance to promote it, so if you want to follow social media pages, YouTube channels, like, share all that stuff, it's one easy way to support. Also, people have chapbooks, people have their own projects that you can support and follow. Things like online writing workshops. You'll hear a lot about Tumblr words today, as usual. There's always really, really great workshops. I heard my friend Rachel did a great job this past weekend leading that. Rachel Cachete. And we got Sandy in the live chat. Hello, hello. That's the other thing. If you're just tuning in, say hello. It's always nice to see people hanging out with us in the chat, like Samuel Wilson. Man, Samuel, you've kind of been here since the beginning. It's kind of nice to see you in the chat as always. But yeah, this open mic, we specifically cater to writers. So if you have any kind of poetry, prose, something in between, flash fiction, haikus, whatever, if you write and want to share what you wrote, come on through. It could be original work. It could even be covers, right? We want to celebrate the work of others. That's the other thing. And of course, if you're a singer-songwriter, if you play an instrument, if you're an instrumentalist and no vocals, then we'd love to see your work as well. Like I said, we're based out of El Paso, Texas, EP, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. And in addition to this online show every Monday, we do have shows throughout the week, at least two, that you can go and find a like-minded community of writers. Hopefully, and I don't know where I was going to go with that, but this week, all right, we have three events during the week after this. So every Tuesday, we are downtown. Tomorrow, June 3rd, we will be at Rosewood. Rosewood, that is on San Antonio Street, and it is our music and poetry open mic that I call Verse and Harmony. Sign up for that starts at 8 p.m. Show starts at 9. That block is popping. It's filled with bars, including the legendary Tap Bar and Restaurant. There's the Garrison, there's La Bang Bang, and there's also Mono Bar, which we alternate venues with every Tuesday. So come through, hang out with us. We are going to have, I think, at least one or two people coming from out of town that I've been communicating with. So come on through and check them out, show them some support. Wednesday, we have our writers' night at Proof and Press. They've been very successful. They've been a whole lot of fun. And that starts at 7 with the writing workshop. So if you can get there around that time, it's a quick generative prompt, which is really followed by some workshopping, where we encourage people to read something and then get feedback from the crowd, from the audience. We have a whole system with mics and everything. Our host Candace feels like Ricky Lake walking around with the mic and handing it off to people, but it's a lot of fun. It's a very chill spot, a very welcoming space as well. Both the owners and the bartenders love what we do there, and I love working with them. And then at 9 p.m. or after 9 p.m. we start a open mic for writers. So if you've never been to one, come check it out. But if you have been to one, you know how cool it is. They're super fun. I've been really enjoying them. And then Friday, we're gonna have a pop-up open mic, and the reason why I'm calling it that is because it kind of happened super last minute. I think yesterday, June 6th, Friday at Giovanni and Bronson's. We have had open mics at Giovanni and Bronson's. In fact, the ones that we do there, we call the roulette recitations or just the roulette open mic. And really, that's just an open mic where the order is decided by chance. When you sign up, I put your name on a big spinning wheel, and when we start the show, I just spin the wheel and call, and that's how we're going to decide the order for the night. It's kind of lightning round as well. It's, the idea is just kind of keep things moving, keep things, there's an element of surprise, and you don't know who's going to be next. It's kind of interesting. It's a little fun. We also give away prizes. So that's, and that will also be a little bit of a birthday celebration. It's my birthday on Friday, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to do something in that regard as well. So, lots going on. As always, if you just want to be kept up to date, we do have a calendar available that you can follow and subscribe to. Just follow us at bwoms.com or any of our social media. The links are that's a lot of commercials, a lot of that's a lot of things to say. Anyway, so like I said, the open mic, if you want to perform, there's still a little bit room on the list. So if you've kind of been lurking in and have thought about it, it's summer. Now's the chance to try it out. It's kind of chill tonight. With that said though, let's go and kick things off. All right. So let me open up the list here on my monitor to the side. As always, one last thing, if you are tuning in, just, hang out with us in the chat, say hello, let us know you're here. I'll give you shout outs throughout the show if I see you there. It's always nice to see familiar faces. Samuel Wilson, since the early days, those who have been here know, Kit knows. Um, all right, so we're gonna kick things off in Denver. All right. And in many ways, this is our mic check because next up is Mike Sindler. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hey.
Oh yeah, that never gets old. Well, first of all, I just want to mention the fact that lighthousewriters.org, this little thing that I always stick in your face, is getting ready to have Lit Fest coming up in just about a week. And there are still a few things, the spaces that are available as far as virtual courses. So I would highly recommend people check those out. There's some things by some amazing authors and also editors and agents and people like that. Um, so I'm going to start with this one, little short one called We Each Lit a Fire. Searching for light, forced to self-kindle, small fires, warm hands, long shadows. Perhaps seen from above, small fires form shimmering rings, their shadows reaching towards the sameness, the essential light we each lit a fire to find. And this one is called Hinder or Approve. This old bruised, cantankerous heart keeps beating, sometimes irregular, missing the rhythm when it trips on pain or remembers falling over, limping into love. This out of warranty, stretched and sagging muscle still struggles when it takes in how cruel the world can be. This creaking, smoky incinerator where sorrow is sucked up and strained from flow. Purpose a mechanic's touch could not hinder or approve. This heart lumbers into wooden farewell. And I'm going to call it for my stuff because I have a couple of really nice covers. And this one is by someone I was lucky enough to be able to take a class with in the past at lighthousewriters.org. C.A. Conrad, fantastic. They're a trip too, let me tell you. But I picked this obviously because of This is the beginning of Pride Month, so I want to do some pieces that celebrate Pride. And this is called Glitter in My Wounds by C.A. Conrad. First and most important, dream our missing friends forward, burn their reflections into empty chairs. We are less bound by time than the clockmaker fears. This morning, all I want is to follow where the stone angels point, bird song lashing me to tears. Heterosexuals need to see our suffering, the violent deaths of our friends and lovers. To know glitter on a queer is not to dazzle, but to unsettle the foundation of this murderous culture. Defiant weeds smashing up through cement. You think Oscar Wilde was funny? Well, darling, I think he was busy distracting straight people so they would not kill him. If you knew how many times I have been told, you're not like my gay best friend who tells me jokes and makes me laugh. No, I sure as fuck am not. I have no room in my life to audition for your pansy mascot. You people can't kill me and think you can kill me. Again, I met a tree in Amsterdam and stood barefoot beside it for 20 minutes, then left completely restored. Yet another poem not written by a poet. Sometimes we need one muscle to relax so the others follow. My friend Mandy calls after a long shift at the strip club to say, while standing in line for death, I am fanning my hot pussy with your new book. Will you sign it next week, my fearless faggot sister? And this next one is by someone I am incredibly excited about being able to take a class with next week during LitFest, and that is Eileen Miles. And this is called Our Happiness. Our happiness was when the lights were out, the whole city in darkness, and we drove north to our friend's yellow apartment where she had power and we could work. Later, we stayed in the darkened apartment, you sick in bed, and me writing ambitiously by candlelight in thin blue books. Your neighbor had a generator, and after a while, we had a little bit of light. I walked the dog, and you were still a little bit sick. We sat on a stoop one day in the late afternoon. We had very little money, enough for a strong cappuccino, which we shared, sitting there, and suddenly the city was lit. Okay, thank y'all very much. And again, if y'all want to check out lighthouseriders.org, I would really recommend it. And wishing everybody out there a great Pride celebration for this month. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. Oh, and thanks for helping me with the change there, kit. That was quick. Awesome. Yes, thanks for kicking it off, Mike. Yes, happy Pride to everyone. Man, it's the time of year where all the people who get mad at the snowflakes for getting mad at everything get mad at sports teams changing the logos, huh? That discourse always is like crazy to me. But anyway, we'll keep this thing going, guys. We're gonna go ahead and come back to El Paso for our next several performers, and to kick it off, we have Ed Gonzalez. Mr. Jedi himself. When you're ready, Ed, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, hello everybody. Let's see. Happy Monday to y'all and to the Monday regulars and those of you on YouTube. And much thanks to BWOMS, Richie, and Kit for making this all happen. This is an amazing platform, and I do nothing but promote because it's such an amazing place. Gonna be pretty quick. I have some short ones. I have three new pieces and one cover. I'm going to get right to it. Let's see. This one was actually Tumble Words from our last Tumble Words. Rachel Cachete was amazing. And if you're a writer, you need to make some time on Saturday at 1 o'clock MST to be here because I got 4 pieces from that. I'm still writing. You gotta come. You gotta come. Anyway, this one is entitled Can't Wait. I was recently hired by the family of the accused. He, I am sure, would have hired me, but he escaped again. And only because he had refused a holding cell, because I'm pretty sure it involves some waiting. I will have him back soon as I get this frivolous charges dropped. Ed is a creature of habit, and generally he can be found looking for action figures at the Goodwill or at a finer food establishments. For example, the Tejano restaurant on George Dieter, having cheese enchiladas and shrimp cocktail Mexicano. If not, it's right about that time. He'll be going for his annual selfie fest now that the bluebells are blooming, and a pasta dish with or a pasta dish with French onion soup at Applebee's. If you're not from Texas, bless your little heart. And it would take too long to explain. Peace, y'all. Tumblewords was still blowing my mind. And this is something I'm working on for a chapter, hopefully when I get my book done in this is a chapter I have on dreams, and I've entitled the chapter Luna, um, which is the name of the title. This particular piece is called Luna 2. Ended the night with remaining ingredients of this afternoon's s'mores debacle and a standard celebratory baked goods and coffee. Settled in for the night, fumbled about with a large stack of books near my desk and on the side of my bed, and looking for my next literary victim. Made 2 small stacks next to the large one. One as possibilities, and one a rollover, and descended into slumber. I next find myself in my old driver's job warehouse, where some familiar folks, uh, people that I knew, but I can't remember their names. As following roll call, the boss passes out slips of paper to the drivers for distribution duties. As I am sure there are no phones in my dreams, we were asked to deliver notices to people of certain individuals that passed away. But instead of a truck backed up to a dock, they were replaced by ramps as we were issued beach cruisers. As we rolled away, I had told a couple of the drivers I needed to go to the local Catholic church, and if they would accompany me in case I run into Sister Mary Forearms. Even at my age, they terrify me. I awoke beset, horrific calf cramps. Stupid beach cruisers. And that was my dream. Let's see. This is some new stuff. I don't know if it was the full moon or anything else that was going on, but this one's entitled June. Stood up late and reading while watching Sports Center, but looking not at the monitor as I am. Currently hating the Dodgers management, who sold out for a tax break, which I am going to assume they're not going to get with the current establishment. Finishing my current book, so obviously celebration time. Some baked cornbread with a dash of my wheat sourdough and a large cup of Cuban coffee. Delicious. I roll outside for a sip, though the last sip of my drink, and check out my new fire pit, and wanted to see how much melted marshmallow was there. I wasn't worried about the other ingredients as I ate all the remaining chocolate and graham crackers. About that time, I realized a couple of things. I forgot my Crocs and how truly tender my feet were. Just then, I started being pelted by large, cold raindrops. I looked upwards and took one in the eyeball. I stood there for a while, remembering the end of my book, and then I remembered that I had washed my car at the Quick Quack. And that makes sense. So I ended this piece with a full apology to areas around Huachuca City, Arizona, and El Paso, Texas, for triggering the monsoon. My bad. So, okay, I got one quick cover today. This was entitled Supermoon, along with the moon theme by Abby E. Murray. It doesn't arrive so much as continue to exist. This is the blue supermoon, exactly where she was days before. When she's this bright, though, I tell my daughter, and this close, we give her another name. That's all. I want to add that human kindness like this, never really changing, never gone. This week she asked me if it was worth it growing up in a cruel world. That's the name she gave it. The name earned cruel. So we sat outside at night to wait for something spectacular to prove itself. We craned our necks like tourists in a cathedral, expecting to see the tidy, timely face of God. And all we got was a persuasion of clouds so thick and cold, we had to guess there was no moon, might be glowing. We had to point where the gloom was the thinnest and say, there, as if it was only as extraordinary as it was out of sight for us, for now. But it was happening. It was true for thousands of years in a row. Abby E. Murray. Uh, did I have anything? Okay, just want to thank everybody. Thank Richie and Kit and everybody. Hopefully I'm looking forward to this Friday. I want to see if I can make it out to the roulette. It sounds like a lot of fun. But anyway, thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Peace and love.
All right. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate those pieces a lot. Yeah, well, always something to think about with them, and always something that you do in your sets is I appreciate the gratitude. You know, you always make sure to give shout outs to the people, and that's really important. I'm thinking about Rachel's prompts from Saturday because I'm looking at the Google Doc, and one of those things I'm thinking about is generosity, and how we apply that in our lives. So thank you for that. As always, I want to return that generosity. Okay. All right, we're gonna keep this thing going, everyone. Hello. Again, if you're in the live chat, say hello. I see Sandy hanging out there. Lots of ooh. Yeah, see, I like it. What Sandy's doing, when you guys are listening, responding to like lines that you love or just things that stand out to you. And again, if you're watching this later during the week, I know we do the live stream on Mondays, but it is it's available after the live stream. So you can watch it anytime actually. And so for those of you who watch later during the week, when you have a chance, leave a comment. Let us know what you enjoyed, what you loved. All right, we're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna stick around in El Paso, and next up we have Robin Schofield. Robin, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello.
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Pride Month. I'm going to read my poem for Charlotte Mew, who had the misfortune of being born on the cusp of modernism, but actually into Victorianism. So it was a very difficult life for her, as you'll see. Almost Modern for Charlotte Mew, 1869 to 1928. When someone at the door of one of your singular readings asked, "Are you Charlotte Mew?" you replied, I am afraid that I am. You who stood on Asylum Road, not overcome with grief for both your brother and your sister, the beauty, schizophrenics. You were able to write it, yes, write it down. Devoted to each other, you and Anne, your other sister, wanted nothing to do with offspring. You felt you must change the pronoun whenever you loved someone, because your love was disapproved before you even began to know what it was. One of your so-called friends wrote, Charlotte is a pervert, typical Victorian. You looked past that hurt and honed your craft with crazy, long, uneven lines, slant rhyme at the ends. Your travels to France ended in heartbreak for you, upended wits for cet obscur objet du désir, for your alarming affections aroused no more than ire. You died, foaming at the mouth, a bottle of Lysol, all you could afford for your final act. That was after you burned your last poems, torched with grief for Anne, who died at home of cancer. We can't know how powerful they were now that they are lost, but you are not, for you live in your words, the farmer's bride again, fey creature in the world of men. Okay, and now I'm going to read, since we have a little extra time, I'm going to read a kind of longish one about springtime, because I think it's about the time of the skunks are mating. Words of a season. Them skunks be harmonating, Hoxie used to say when we smelled the skunks all over the farm to market roads, trucks struck dead spring after spring. Hoxie used to say some mornings, cold as blue blazes, the mist out of his mouth, a smell I know now for morning breath of a drunk, pleasant and sharp, bracing but not sickening like the bluish cigar smoke in Granddad's Chevy, morning clouds of it on the way to Thackerville, Oklahoma, springtime across the Red River with Aunt Rita's untamed dogs and cats she rescued from the road where folks dumped their unwanted procreation. Her sorrow to have no children, her and Uncle John S. living by the peach orchard. Hoxie and his fat wife lived by the spring, sharecropping my grandfather's farm. Hoxie's wife didn't bathe or use perfume. First I'd smelled human fumes unadorned. Biscuits rose out of a lard and flour dough ball, kneaded in one wooden bowl, one wooden room where Hoxie, thin as Jack Sprat, drank and fixed a pipe. Through the bare base hillocks, high-headed grass, the clear spring ran out of year-round. I tasted the cold, sweet minerals of Love County, Oklahoma. The rusty dirt I trailed my bare feet in to pick blackberries that stained my hands, strawberries from their green nests right off the ground, while cows stood stolid, chewed, and mildly looked. To fly kites the color of candy, where barn swallows daubed mud on walls, to shoot the shoulder-bruising rifles, to find lizard skeletons and locust shells in the highway tunnels that divided the farm, the land once ours, orchard and pasture. If we heard rustles in the tall grass, it was like to be a snake, maybe copperhead or rattler by the road. We'd run one over and my grandfather would stop the truck, grab the hoe to chop its head off, because eternal snakes won't die from being run over, but bunch their muscles up, supple spines sliding sideways away. Uncle John S. knew the way to the Indian graveyard and how to take the sting out of nettles. My grandfather's roses floated in crystal bowls while we ate fried apricot pies my grandmother fixed, and the generous strawberries, seeds outside, hollow inside, fuzzy as whitewater creeks in the cream turned pink, sugar red on gold fiesta-ware plates in cobalt bowls. Toothless old Hoxie laughed like a firecracker. How glad I was we did not have to kiss him. Our bewhiskered grandmother at the farm, we had to kiss every time we saw her. After she died, the tattered draperies still drifted like paper muslin in the skeleton of her empty house. Her last words to him, my father said, were, "How are your children?" But the words that haunt me like a spring chill came from Hoxie's beaten mouth at dawn, from weathered bones in the woods, the hail of blue blazes, the season's harms and harmonies, musk and rot, sweet and foul, on the red dirt road to the Love County Spring. Okay. Now my cover poem will be a poem that is called A Valediction Forbidding Mourning. And you might know that title, and it's because it's a poem by John Donne, but this one is by Adrienne Rich. And Adrienne Rich is one of the most notable poets of the 20th century. If you don't know her work, you should look her up. And she was married in the 50s and had 3 children, and then in the 60s she came out as a lesbian, and it was it was quite a thing. So anyway, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning by Adrienne Rich. My swirling wants, your frozen lips. The grammar turned and attacked me. Themes written under duress, emptiness of the nations. They gave me a drug that slowed the healing of wounds. I want you to see this before I leave. The experience of repetition as death, the failure of criticism to locate the pain, the poster in the bus that said, "My bleeding is under control." A red plant in a cemetery of plastic reeds. A last attempt. The language is a dialect called metaphor. These images go unglossed. Hair, glacier, flashlight. When I think of a landscape, I am thinking of a time. When I talk of taking a trip, I mean forever. I could say, those mountains have a meaning, but further than that, I could not say. To do something very common in my own way. Thank you, everybody. Back to you, Richie.
Okay, thank you, Robin. We've got a little bit of extra time to work with. Definitely took advantage of that. Appreciate it. And yeah, so Doc's not here, so sending my best out to Doc. If you're watching online or I get to at some point. But we're gonna go ahead and go on and hold on. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Malaysia up next, where we have Julian Matthews. Let me make sure to get the share screen on. There it is. Okay. You have access to it, and without further ado, here is Julian Matthews behind the moon, or in front of the moon, actually, with the moon behind. All right, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Hi,
Hey.
thank you.
Oh, I think Kid and I are canceling each other out. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Replace spotlight. Yes. Hold on. I don't know why I can't get you on the spotlight though.
I'm
There we go.
unspotlightable. Am I
There you are.
spotlit? Okay, here we go. Trigger warning for mental health. It's a lot old one. I haven't read it in ages. So hold it together till the end. Okay. Oh, the well. I remember when it first happened, it was the first time I heard the word schizophrenia. I did not know how to spell it, even though I was a good speller. I remember when I tried to pronounce it, it was as if my tongue had tied itself in a knot and hung out the side of my mouth, salivating like a dog's. I remember they said, "You had an episode." I did not know at the time what an episode was, except as a program on TV. Lassie would always find Timmy, no matter how many times he fell into a well. The professor would invent some ingenious way to get off the island, and bungling Gilligan would always thwart him. The skipper would call him crazy, conk him on the head, and everything would be swell. I hated Zorro, though, because it always ended with a cliffhanger. I needed my TV shows to resolve its conflict in 45 minutes, including commercials, with a brand new episode every week. I know when Peyton Place came along, there was so much hype and anticipation of the serial where each episode led into the next in a never ending cycle. Never knew why they called it a soap opera. I thought it was because someone would be singing in the shower before being stabbed dead like in Psycho. I never liked the lovey-dovey kissy-kissy scenes between Rodney and Allison. They were so icky to me. I had to cup my eyes tight with my tiny hands. But that night, I had to shut my ears too. Your first episode opened with a bang. You locked yourself in the kitchen, loudly rifling through the cutlery until you found the chopper, then began chopping anything from the fridge, screaming devilish profanities as vegetables flew all around Mom's immaculate kitchen. We were playing gin rummy or Scrabble in the living room, and Dad tried to distract us by continuing to play as if everything was swell. It was like our entire family turned quiet, timid into this new darkened well. We were silently shipwrecked on an island of your madness. No Lassie was going to come to our rescue because we didn't raise the alarm. This was turning out to be yet another frustrating, tense cliffhanger. Suddenly you came out, chopper swinging. We froze. Dad froze too and did nothing. We younger kids were shooed upstairs by Mom, the only one who kept her head while everyone was hiding in on our knees, frightened and praying so hard together. I remember my heart was a clenched fist, bone white, trying to punch its way out. I don't remember what happened next, or I blacked it out. It was like an episode of Twilight Zone where a man woke up and found all the people in town had gone missing and he could not remember how he got there. Amnesia. I knew how to spell that. He wanders around trying desperately to call someone, anyone, and thinks he's going crazy. And then Rod Serling, the narrator, comes on at the end saying something profoundly ambiguous about the fine line between loneliness and lunacy. I remember even when young, I always knew what the word gila meant. Mom would say kirke in Tamil and rotate her index finger round her temple. I knew if you were gila, they would send you to Tanjung Rambutan, a mental ward. I remember once reading in the Malay Mail the paper that cares of a woman who lay in the middle of the road daring a bus to run over her in traffic. They arrested her, sent her to the General Hospital mental ward, said the report. The Gila woman in the story was you. It was another episode. I remember Mom and my brother once tying you up at the back with ropes and raffia string, anything they could find, and you protested, wild-eyed, shrieking like you were possessed before the ambulance came. It was just another episode, they said. During family gatherings, the older ones would whisper to others, heads cocked parrot-like, saying, "It ran in the family." A cousin, an auntie, an uncle, all cuckoo. We all had a touch of the kirke, dipped from the same well. I remember when I first heard the word manic depressive, I thought they named this illness after Mannix, the private detective. Perhaps only he could solve this episode in 45 minutes. It's been 45 years. I know now not to use the words mental, mad, psycho, cuckoo, crazy, lunatic, possessed, devil, gila, lightly anymore. Because there were times I found myself in a cold, dark place, curled up like an island, my eyes and ears shut as the waves came in. I see how I too failed to accept my own episodes, washing up on the shore between us. I see with clarity the episodic anxiety in the inner circle around me now, a touch of kirke perhaps. We each have to learn to accept and organize our own rescue. Mom and Dad are gone now. The episodes have stopped for now. I don't watch any TV these days anyway. I can't stand the cliffhangers and season enders. Perhaps you still do. I hope that you are well. Okay, so let's do another one. This one is called, this one was something surreal I just wrote this week. My mother's passed now for 7 years. 8 years. Wow. Let me just find it. Oh, where is it? Share screen. Okay. Why isn't it sharing screen? Come on. Save. Share screen. Okay, here it goes. My mother's sari. Some night my mother's sari enters quietly unannounced, swirls and curls like incense. She spins me around, fit checks my form, spits, stamps down, cowlit, makes it stick. My mother's sari goes about her business, inspects room by room, scoffs at unpicked socks, unmade bed, unwashed laundry, and unread books. She runs fingers on surfaces, tut-tuts the dust, groans at clouded windows and dish piled sink. My mother's sari blindfolds my ego, masks my fears, holds my tongue, enters my right ear, comes out clean the other side. She pulls at my nose, massages my shoulders, dissolves my pain, rubs Vicks on my chest, rocks me gently and long, cradles me like a baby in a sarong. My mother's sari reminds me of broom and cane, to look left, look right, and look left again, of cross and crossings, failures and faith, self-belief and leaps of faith. She churns my heartache, spots the real yearnings from the fake, cackles at my longings and resigned fate. My mother's sari gets dramatic, makes like the weather, wind and rain, sweat and swelter, whispers to me of seeking sun, shade and shelter. She rattles on, rinse and repeat, watch and learn, be grateful, forgive but never forget, do or don't do. And which part of no did you not get? My mother's sari is the tie that forever binds. I can't tell silk from spin until she unfurls in. She's grief that enters, checks in, then checks out. She incepts and interrupts, spirals like a coil, wraps like a wreath, bundles and cuddles, then stabs like a foil. My mother's sari leans close, blows a mote in my eye, makes me blink, then winks. She exits as she came, treading lightly. I beg her to stay, but she just sashays away. End poem. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Thank you. Such tender, powerful pieces. I know people were feeling it, definitely in the chat. I do have your link tree, so I'll make sure to share it with our cool peeps on YouTube, and they can follow you there. Julian Matthews, everyone. All right, yeah, there you go. I just posted it in the YouTube chat, so you guys can check that out. Okay, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna go to Greenfield, Massachusetts for our next performer. Who's gonna, as always, do a little a cappella, some poetry. We have Storm. So Storm, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you. You can probably hear I'm still dealing some with this tree pollen allergy junk. And they've given me more meds and it's helped some, but not completely. So we'll see what I can do. And I'm also fading a bit because of it, even though it's not all that late here, but I'm not sure I'm going to make it to the end tonight, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll make it through my piece. The bonds of friendship. I light a candle for her leaving and another for the journey she's on. I light still others for our memories, areas still too tense. The bonds of friendship. I light a candle for her leaving and another for the journey she's on. I light still others for our memories, areas still too sensitive to be touched. I would light more to ward off the darkness around us, yet even I realize the necessity of my being careful. I have no desire to burn myself as a token gesture in her honor. Yes, I see we've got to be who we must be. So if you'd really like to fly, I'll just say goodbye. 'Cause birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. But you know, I think you'd really like to stay. Flex your wings, come back another day. 'Cause birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. You've got to do what you must do, and I'll work to help you through. So if you'd really like to fly, I'll just say goodbye. 'Cause birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. I love your feathers, love your song, love to see you in the dawn. But birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. Yes, I see we've got to be who we must be. So if you'd really like to fly, I'll just say goodbye. 'Cause birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. I won't keep you, on that you can depend. Won't seek to hold you, even if I can. 'Cause birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. You've got to do what you must do, and I'll work to see you through. So if you'd really like to fly, I'll just say goodbye. 'Cause birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. Yes, I love you every time you're near, and I hope you'll stay right here. But birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. No birdie, I ain't building no cage for you. And this piece, child's growth. In a time not long ago, in a place now left behind, a little boy looked at the stars to see what he could find. Where did that child go? How did that child grow? What kind of people shaped his mind? Did they teach him to love? Did they teach him to care? Did they teach him compassion? Did they teach him to share? Where did that child go? How did that child grow? What kind of people shaped his mind? In a time not long ago, in a place now left behind, little boy looked at the stars to see what he could find. When mom says, hey kids, this ain't no stinking bar. It's time to get out, get into the car, and cruise to the ghetto. Rosalita wasn't much different than the child you have in your house. She had patches and names on her blue jeans and a gold boat pinned to her blouse. Yet her ship, it never came sailing. It never even came close. And when her dream started failing, she died of an overdose. Her grades were quite high. Folks said she was smart. She loved baseball, poetry, mathematics, geography, art. Still with Dad always working, Mom drinking or taking a snooze. She'd no one to hold her and nothing that mattered to lose. Her kids were all right, just rebellious kind. And more, they felt the need to unwind with pep, pills, heroin, pot, speed, hash, acid, and coke. Knowing little of spirit, forgiveness, charity, and hope. Hey, Rosalita, Anita, Emily Jones, did they tell you when you were crying? Hey, Rosalita, Anita, Emily Jones, did they tell you when you were dying that your parents loved you, that your parents loved you? And did you believe it was true. Then one night it happened somehow. No one remembers or talks of it now. The kids, they went a little too far. Rosalita passed out in the back of the car, and no one was certain just what she had had, so they brought her back home to her mom and her dad. Her parents were angry, bothered, concerned. Neither one knew quite where to turn. The physician they called said, "Come quick as you may. Rosalita, Anita, never moved all the way." The doctors were worried. They feared she was gone. They worked to revive her till just before dawn. When she opened her eyes, started to cry, spoke nonsensical sentences, kept shouting, "Why?" Hey, Rosalita, Anita, Emily Jones, did they tell you when you were crying? Hey, Rosalita, Anita, Emily Jones, did they tell you when you were dying that your parents loved you, that your parents loved you? And did you believe it was true? Her parents, they prayed by her bedside for hours, brought her trinkets and sweet treats and beautiful flowers. But all their efforts were too little, too late. Rosalita passed on in her drug-induced state. Tonight, her parents stare and ask how. Two rival gangs are planning a row. I hear there's a party on 4th Street and Vine, guaranteed to be drugs and bottles of wine. After midnight in this town, most lights are turned off, with air conditioners whirring. The wind whispers soft of others who are searching and left lying alone, like Rosalita, Anita, Emily Jones. Hey, Rosalita, Anita, Emily Jones, did they tell you when you were crying? Hey, Rosalita, Anita, Emily Jones, did they tell you when you were dying that your parents loved you, that your parents loved you? And did you believe it was true? And did you believe it was true? Hey, Rosalita. And for a very quick cover, he drew a circle that shut me out, heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that closed him in. Edwin Markham.
All right, thank you, Storm. All right, that one was a short one. It caught me off guard. Yeah, love the piece. Lots of love, applause, applause. Okay, we are going to keep this thing going, guys. If you're somehow tuning in just now, or if you got here a little later, this is our online open mic every Monday. If you want to sign up, there might be a little bit of room left if you can make it. If not, we're here every Monday. Look out for our sign up sheet on Linktree and any of our social media. You can on the Linktree, you can actually click subscribe. There's a little bell on the upper left hand corner of the Linktree page that you can click on, and you can get notifications sent to your email as soon as we get a new list sign up sheet online. But let's go and keep going. Fresh off of short story theater and getting back into some poetry, the man behind Tumble Words and helping out with BWOMS here on Mondays, as well as hosting at Old Sheepdog, we've got Mr. Kit Wren, Mr. Monday Night. When you're ready, go and take it away. Yo.
All right. Thank you, Richie. Yes, after a month, that story, very cool story. Kind of have to reintroduce my own work to the people. So that's what we'll have to do. So we're gonna go with we're gonna play the hits first. I wish to relieve one pressure you have felt and replace it immediately with another. Do not worry about first impressions. The first impression is nothing. It is easily overridden and constantly amended, often forgotten entirely. Much more important is the 0th impression. You have no control over the 0th impression. You have no way to influence it or even access it. It is being made right now, independently, in places you have never even driven through. You see, as friends tell new friends of old friends, those new friends must depend on imagination and stock images to complete the story themselves. You are a placeholder name in so many stories. There are mental images of you based off of absolutely no evidence. People you have never met have strong and inflexible opinions about you and what you should have done that one time. One day you will meet someone who knows of you only from a bystander's account of the worst day of your life. If he or she makes the connection, they will be close to starstruck, trying to reconcile the physical facts with their own understanding. You must see they have carried this cartoon of you, this caricature from a tourist trap, for a long time. It has been rolled up, put in moving boxes, and subsequently unpacked in new domiciles. They may have even added their own twist to the story. It's their story now. You are now the protagonist of a modern urban legend. Do not fight against the 0th impression. Do not dwell on it. Don't justify yourself. Don't try to give context. Do your best to see the honor and not the offense. While no one can be all things to all people, you may find that thanks to the 0th impression, being many things to enough people is astoundingly easy. Yeah. Let's do the one where I just drop a bunch of names on the table. This one's called Canon. Browning and Tennyson sit side by side, both discomfited by the bearded man who smells like clay. The three of them here in New Jersey, of all places, at the bidding of a tyrannical man who says he can keep music in a cage. It is not that Browning and Tennyson hate each other. Rather, they feel locked into a kind of staring contest. Neither can be the first to pay a compliment. They desire, though they cannot say so out loud, to be courted. They want their opinion to matter to the other and to undermine each other's pretense. They are bone certain it is a pretense of being self-made. They don't know what to do with the unkempt autodidact to Browning's left. He has no title and no fortunate marriage. He has made a self for himself with an ease. It has made you think you can make one too. The closest thing Thomas Edison made himself, the closest thing to art, rather, that Thomas Edison made himself, was a film of the electrocution of an elephant in the name of demonstrating alternating current. But it's due to him and his phonograph, and perhaps credit is also due to the martyr Topsy the elephant, that I can hear Browning, Tennyson, Whitman, and the tension in that room. I can hear Robert Frost, middle-class trickster god, reading two poems at the same time. I can hear moonlighting insurance executive Wallace Stevens linger over every word like he's triple checking. I can hear stentorian T.S. Eliot trying so hard, as hard as he ever tried something, to hide the fact that he was born in St. Louis. It's incredibly easy to make a new self. Some people never stop doing it. It's harder to make one you're happy with. But is happiness actually the goal? Do you know what it looks like? What will you do with your happiness once you catch it? Will you feel better if I tell you that the great names of the past were thirsty and ashamed and running from their own voice, just like you? Two more short ones and then the cover. I gradually abandoned fiction because once I made a man, he had to die. Whether I wrote about it or not, it would happen, and I was responsible. I had put him carelessly in time's riptide and had to watch, unable to reply to his gurgling pleas. This is why God is cranky all the time. Why he refuses to answer direct questions. Frankly, he resents all of us. He took us for a hobby, and over eons, we became a job. Now that we're not in love, we can relax. Things aren't so important. We can be playful. The future no longer crumbles if you don't sigh with precise harmonics. Think of the first man who ever saw 2 eclipses. He knew exactly what to do. If he said a prayer, it was one he had thought of a long time ago. And so the cover poem, tradition I'm real proud of. Glad to see other people pick up the mantle, and to keep the LGBTQ theme of the Pride Month theme of my cover, of the covers that have happened so far. I'm going to cover Chaplain-esque by Hart Crane. Hart Crane was outwardly gay in the early 1900s, and it is very likely he was murdered for this. He made a pass at the wrong person on the cruise ship and fell off the cruise ship. Nothing's proven, but it's about 70-30 that they killed him. He was in a bad situation in life and might have killed himself, but 70-30, that's where I lay it. But yes, Hart Crane, wonderful poet, friend of Garcia Lorca's. This is Chaplain-esque by Hart Crane. We make our meek adjustments, contented with such random consolations as the wind deposits and slithered in 2 ample pockets. For we can still love the world, who find a famished kitten on the step and no recesses for it from the fury of the street or warm, torn elbow coverts. We will sidestep into the final smirk, dally the doom of that inevitable thumb that slowly chafes its puckered index towards us, facing the dull squint with what innocence and what surprise. And yet these fine collapses are not lies, more than the pirouettes of any pliant cane. Our obsequies are, in a way, no enterprise. We can evade you, and all else but the heart. What blame to us if the heart live on? The game enforces smirks, but we have seen the moon in lonely alleys make a grail of laughter of an empty ash can, and through all sound of gaiety and quest, have heard a kitten in the wilderness. Right. And yes, and the Tumblewords Project, we've managed to get all people within the acronym for our June presenters. This coming Saturday, our friend in Toronto, Kelly Mary McAllister, will be presenting. Their workshop will be, I see the fist bumps. Thanks. I'm excited too. Thank you. Appropriately enough, considering what Michael Sindler covered earlier, their workshop will be entitled Glitter in the Wound. So you're already a little bit prepared by having come to this open mic. The 14th will be David Latif. And their workshop, I believe, will be called Just Write It Already, or Just Go Ahead and Write It, something along those lines. The 21st, Shockey G, poet out of Pittsburgh. Very good, very powerful. We're lucky that she's chosen to join us, and it'll be her workshop will be entitled "Erasing History." And the last part of this came together this Monday, but a local playwright and acting teacher, B. Seeley. They also come to the open mics in live and in person, and they're a great illustrator, and they're going to discuss comics crafts for poets, the way that comics create narrative. It's called Sound and Movement in Black and White, Comics Craft for Poets. So really excited to bring B to this platform and see what y'all think. And I love when we get a cross-discipline Tumble Wars. So a great month for Tumble Wars, as they all are. Great month for BWOMS, as they all are. We don't lose. That's just true. I don't know what to tell you. So we'll hand it off back to Richie. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Kit. And as always for the announcements, yeah, excited about being there. They did a really cool sketch of me that I need to put up somewhere really cool so people can see it. But yeah, looking forward to all that stuff. Thank you, Kit. All right, we're gonna keep this thing going though. Our next performer, our next reader is joining us from New Orleans, writer, poet, and author of Lost Love Volume 1, Sam Hardy. Welcome back to the show. Hey, when you're ready, go ahead and
Hey,
take it away.
everyone. Hey, let's see what we got here. Here's one I just wrote like last week. It's called The Game. Her eyes pulled me into a darkened hallway. They call the game Blind Man's Bluff, where one wears a blindfold and the others escape their grasp in a narrow hallway. No lights, no sound, all except the shuffling of feet. She often wore the blindfold, and when her turn came, no matter how many times we played, I couldn't evade her. She wrapped her arms around me and said, "Gotcha." And for an instant, I would be right where and what I most desired to be, her prisoner. The game, my fear of the dark and the feeling I had for her, all scary, all beyond my understanding. I was 10 and she was 12. In the light of day, I'd die when she smiled and longed to play the game again and again. The next one is probably familiar to some people. It's called I Wrote Her. I wrote her. Happy words, loving words, jump on this carousel with me. No reply. Another try. I wrote her. Invitations, affirmations, please love me. No reply. She broke me. One more day. I wrote her, still trying to give her the world. No reply. I'm crushed. My heart lies in ruins. I wrote her again, ink pleading. No reply. My inks run dry. My heart is full yet broken into pieces. She doesn't see me. I wrote her one final time. No reply. This next one is called Paper Bag Poet. I lost all my good sense years ago, 1,000 beers ago. I wrote her 100 times. No reply. Then I tried to write about my heart. I wrote while my life fell apart. Sonnets given away to one so less deserving. My devotion never swerving. Just me and my trusty laptop, watching the penny drop, heartbreak after heartbreak, crying ink into a paper bag of booze. No one else to choose. With L, I cannot lose. Drinking in the blues. No music needed. My heart's already conceded. To many bottles of Guinness. My spirit's just not in it. I bled all the ink I had before things got really bad. Volumes written of lost love. My velvet heart, her iron glove. I still write from time to time. I try to rhyme, but my rhythm is mostly benign. Poetry that used to run through my veins, now replaced with hops and barley that taste all the same. Each bottle baptized in tears of the past, the sting of a lost lass. There are no more beers on the balcony. The ferry boat has sailed far away from me. So once again, as the barkeep kicks me out at 2 a.m., past closing time, although I didn't really know it, he says goodnight to me, the paper bag poet. And one more, just keeping with the theme here of Pride Month. This is called Growing Up Gay. When I was growing up, I chased this one girl around the table in our kindergarten classroom. I wanted to pretend that she was the bride and I was the groom. When I was growing up, I hated wearing dresses. My mother tried to entice me to, but I was more than willing to hold my breath till I turned blue. When I was growing up, playing karate women out on the playground at recess was my favorite game. Showing the boys I could conquer them with a chop and a kick was my claim to fame. When I was growing up, my mother got very ill around the age of 12 and died. My brother teased me at how, like a girl, I cried. When I was growing up, I realized there was nothing wrong with crying over a loss. I was a girl, never wanted to be anything else. And at that moment, I did my most growing up, even if at a cost. When I was growing up, I was a girl who crushed on other girls, which I promptly proved by falling in love with my best friend and her every single move. When I was growing up, in high school, I took a beating, but I was out with pride. I didn't ever try to hide the person I was deep down inside. When I was growing up, there wasn't much representation on movies and television. When Ellen stood up and shouted, "I'm gay," it caused society some division. Finally, the big dark secret of Uncle John and Cousin Sally had to be addressed, and I was among the family to stand up and tell them I'm gay just like you. When I got old, I still got my heart broken many more times. I dived into my poetry, making the most of my rhymes. So yeah, I'm gay. I have been 60 plus years. It was never really a problem in my life and rarely the reason for my girl-like tears. Overall, now in 2024, it's really no big issue anymore. No reason to rage, no reason to fight. To be honest, nowadays, I'm more concerned about what's for dinner tonight. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. As always, pleasure having you again. And is there anything you want to promote or share? Website, social media?
Well, hopefully soon my upcoming book, Lost Love Volume 2, will be out. I'm hoping by August. I'm working on 2 other books too. I'm working on a children's book, Poetry for Kids 101, and a book about childhood sexual assault, which is called the Lost Little series. So I have all those coming up. So cross your fingers for me that I get everything done by the deadlines I need to have them done by. Thanks a lot. I'll put my link tree in the chat.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Sam Hardy, everyone out of New Orleans. And I will copy and paste that for people in YouTube on YouTube chat can check it out. We're gonna actually go ahead and keep this thing going. We're gonna go to Washington, D.C. for our next performer who's got some poetry, according to their sign up. I don't see jokes on there, but you already know it's time for Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, go and take it away, my friend.
Thank you so much, my brother. Like no other words like thunder. And don't worry, jokes come back next week. All right. My name is Ed Potasso. I'm feeling fantastic. Please, it's time to join my rhyme Fafo Sublime. Hope everyone's going to have a heck of a good time. I got one short poem for Pride Month, and I got 3 other poems. This poem for Pride Month, it's funny because I picked it, but there's no title and there's no writer. But if anyone wants to perform it, I'll DM them. Lesbians love ladies, gay men love dudes, bisexual people are not just confused. RO and ace folks, through frequently mix, are happy as they are, they don't need to be fixed. Trans women are women, trans men are men, non-binary people are frequently them. All identities are valid, all people are people, love is love, treat everyone as equals. Thank you. And thank you so much. Happy Pride Month. This first one's called Accusations of Mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Mirror, your reflection of me. We can't agree it is meant to be. You're flipping a coin to the other half. It's okay, you don't have to do the math. To be or not to be, that's the question. But it doesn't give us deep satisfaction. not satisfied being two halves of a whole. But we all are coal, thinking we are gold. Coal representing our inner ugliness. But what's chaos without any bliss? We aren't perfect when reality hits. We all take hits because we all have dents. We can't, why can't we love our imperfections? Love can melt away any misconceptions. Denial is a heavy burden to bear tied to a chair. If you share, then you wouldn't be losing hair. You can't run away from your dark shadow. You can't scare away your murder of crows. They will follow you here and back. Breathe before you have a heart attack. They're your faults trying to make peace. Please embrace them for a soothing release. I used to think flaws were a curse getting worse. It's not you. Don't converse about being diverse. Your weaknesses make you who you are. You're still a sun, a comet, a shooting star. Please don't lose your battle inside your war. Don't forget what you are fighting for. The huge battlefield will never ever end till you embrace your impurities, my friend. At first, it's going to dramatically hurt, but what's a plant without a lot of dirt? Thank you. Okay, this other one is about
I'm
food, and
gonna
it's
have to say
called
good night. Thank you all.
Oh,
Thank
Good
you.
Night, Sleep Tight on Anything Bite. Hope to see you next time. All right. This other one's called Garnish of an Acrobat. Food is culture, umami of acupuncture, poking the sweet spots between cold and hot. Tongues dance around taste, not a crumb will go to waste. The taste washes down your stomach, nestle down in your packed hammock. Don't talk about food. I'm not trying to be crude. Are you on a strict diet? No need to riot or deny it. It's hard to look after your temple. It's like not trying to pop a pimple. I know, ew. But what do you mean? You could eat it. Then some green beans. I'm not trouble or a bad influence. The only difference is our essence. You live once. Why not take a bite? One bite, you'll be lost. You'll be lost and not uptight. I'm not trying to spoil your appetite. Don't be standoffish as a satellite. You have an allergic reaction. Substitute to taste satisfaction. Satisfaction of the reaction of being alive. We need to revive, to thrive, to strive, to survive. Basically, eat to taste the love of life. A taste to improve your might and insight. Eat to build tolerance of different nations. Eat to experience heaven without questions. Eat to relive the achievements of the world. Eat to inspire or cook for your boy or girl. Eat to joyfully understand the memory again. Eat to actually, did you eat today, my friend? Thank you. And I got one more. And the last one is called Wrong Turn, Right Question. Here it is. I ponder my actions, a blissful satisfaction. Oh, the river of regret, the worries of debt. It haunts me too, sticking like glue. But who else but you? You did a breakthrough. Why? But why ask why? Why is the sky in the sky? You hit speed bumps. You got in some lumps. If you do or done it, but learning is a habit. You were young, flinging mindless dung. You were old, flinging bitter cold. If I count my mistakes, it will keep you awake. I would wish them all away, yet it wouldn't make me feel a-okay. They would give me nightmares. Despair can rot, scream, and tear. I don't want that, a matter of fact. I'd rather be dirty. I can't ruin my journey. I know you would, but do you think you should? If your mistakes were gone, it wouldn't redo your wrongs. The wrongs of being you. Now you got the clue. I can't believe I did, but don't be a squid. Don't question life with all your might. It was born first, even if it hurts. Life puts you there. Sometimes it's fair. Why does life bites? To keep you not uptight. Why did he or she died? To swallow their pride. Why didn't I get the job? So you won't get robbed. Why can't I find love? So you can be a dove. Why can't I win the lottery? So your life can be in harmony. If you didn't do it, you wouldn't earn grit. It was so crazy. Is your mind less hazy? Taking chances build character. Your personality is quite particular. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. We
You're
did miss jokes. Looking forward to
welcome.
next week, though. How can people follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me and support me online while coming to this wonderful open mic that makes our Monday night sizzle light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman92. And remember, if the mic's right, I'll be there to shine my fantastic insight. If you send a request, you take guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and blessed. Everyone stop spewing the one world society chest. Now stop feeling and being and doing your best. And always remember that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Ed. Ed Poetastic, everyone. Go give him a follow. Oh, I forgot to ask you the other day if you have a new Instagram, if that's actually you. Because
Oh yeah, that's
sometimes
actually
people
sorry,
okay, I wasn't
that's
sure.
that's actually me. With my poetry. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes people could steal your identities under a
It
hat.
happens a lot.
Yes, it
So I
does.
wanted to make sure. So okay, now I know. Okay, so everyone else who was curious about that, now you know too, because I always forget to ask. Anyway, as we always do, again, thanks for joining us on today's online show. Let me check the live stream really quick. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in tonight and throughout the week. Again, we're here every Monday. As always, we're gonna close it off with Dan the Man. So Dan, when you're ready, it looks like you're ready. Go ahead and take it away. Yo.
Yep. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Give me a minute. Hang on. Let me take this pic. Hang on a second. Okay, there we go. I don't know if okay. Anyway, since we all know it's already June, I still have this. That's weird. So let's see here. What's going on in the month of June? Well, all I say is flowers could be bloom, but springtime's already passed, but it's about to late the Zoom. Yep. Oh yeah, this is Zoom. Pride Month, community front support LGBTQ. That's our supportive Q. See the rainbow, beautiful colors in tow. Besides, besides, besides the month, there's Flag Day, where we salute the Flag Day. Well, 4th of July is my favorite, but we're a month away. I would, yeah. And National Donut Day, where there's always Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. National Best Friends Day. Yeah. And D-Day, which is the Richie's birthday. So 81 years. Yeah. No, 81 years. Yeah. And Father's Day and the third Sunday of the month, the third Sunday of the, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, third Sunday. And Juneteenth, it's on the 19th day of the month. That could be start the summer, or that could be day after the summer, or before the day of summer. Yes, I'm just about to. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. Okay then. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I want to do the pillow princess for my pillow. I want to get the sheets or things in the bed. Put it in a full load and wash it. And you're gonna have enough time to wash it and dry it.
Okay. Do you want me to wash the dryer and you want me to to put wash something? What do you want me to wash?
Yo. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna let you take care of that, Dan. I muted you because that's cool. Take care of that. Take care of that. That's a first one, guys. So anyway, I'll kill time while you do take care of that. Anyway, tomorrow, just really quick updates while Dan finishes his call there, okay? Tomorrow we will be at Rosewood, downtown El Paso. Sign up starts at 8, show starts at 9. Wednesday, we have Writers Night at Proof and Press, writing workshop from 7 to about 9. After 9, we have a Writers Night open mic. Come on through. Friday, we have the roulette mic. That's just an open mic decided by chance. Come through, have a beer with me, or just have a coffee or a tea. Giovanni Bronson's. That's from 7 to 11. 7 to 8 will be like the sign up period. If we have enough people, maybe we'll do like a very casual writing prompt or just to hang out. I'm gonna try and do giveaways as well for that. But yeah, let's see. Dan's still on the phone. I think we've been doing this since 2020, and I think that's the first time that's happened. Taking the call right in the middle of the performance. I thought it was part of the performance, actually, guys. Um, okay. What are other things? So if you have not had a chance to do so, check out our website, BWOMS.com. That's BWOMS.com. There you can find our calendar. There's a link to our Google Calendar that you can actually subscribe and just kind of add it to your personal calendar on your phone. And the best part is you can check off, you can like usually whether it be Android or Apple on your calendar app, you can like select whether to see it or not. So if you need to just check, you can select it. It'll show everything and unselect it so it doesn't clutter up your calendar. But it's a really good chance to just kind of be kept up to date with all of our upcoming events, which include Story Night next Wednesday. Unfortunately, we had to cancel last minute last Wednesday. I know people were planning to go, so I feel a little tough about that. Anyway, here I'm gonna stall with a poem that I've been trying to workshop a little bit. I haven't edited a whole lot, but I do want to edit it more. So yeah, this is a bonus poem. It's called Autocorrect, which is based off of these right here. Autocorrect. I try to say what I mean, but my phone has other plans. I typed salud to celebrate my friend's good news, a toast, a blessing, a celebration in their honor. It autocorrects salad. So now I'm raising leafy greens in your honor. I once tried to text, friendship is everything, but it came out, fried shrimp is everything, which to be fair might still be true because both are warm, comforting, and slightly greasy with history. One fills your soul, the other fills your stomach.
I'm gonna need 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
Dan, I'm stalling for you. Thanks for interrupting. What I'm really trying to say is that I meant those words, even when they came out wrong, because we used this glowing glass to stay close across cities, time zones, lifetimes, open mic poetry Zoom sessions. We text instead of call. We like instead of listen. We send a heart emoji when we don't know how to say, I'm scared you're drifting. Sometimes I wonder if all these tools meant to bring us together have only perfected the art of almost, almost connected, almost honest, almost saying what we mean before the algorithm tidies it up. Still, I keep typing, keep sanding, keep fumbling through this tiny keyboard just to say something that reaches you. So if I ever text you a blessing that sounds like lunch, salad, just know I meant joy. I meant cheers. I meant you're worth the toast. All right. Cool. Let's see, 2 minutes. Looking for a piece. Cassie's here too, so give me a second here. Okay. Anyway, here's one from National Poetry Month. Hold on. I'm stalling because Dan's taking a phone call live on the show. And for some reason, I'm letting him take the phone call and I could just end it, but hold on. I'm looking for the right thing. I was caught off guard with this, so. Drafts. I think it's this one. Yeah, okay. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Let us know how you're doing in the chat. All right, here I'm gonna read off some of my National Poetry ones until Dan's ready. This one's from National Poetry Month, that we had in April. This is from day 5, 5 out of 30. Hope is a borderless brass band, bopping along to the sounds of cold brews being poured and clinking glassware to the revelry of moments shared. Marty needs a mouthpiece is yelled out from across the stage as a blues band tubas in and out of existence on this wintry April night.
Okay.
Suds slide down an illuminated glass and tell me a fortune I've yet to understand. All right, Dan, I was stalling for you because I don't know, man. You
Sorry
probably
about
shouldn't take a
that. My
call
mother.
in the middle of your yes, yes. Okay,
I'm
but we
so
got to
sorry
finish the show.
because yes, yeah, I know.
we
I'm going as
that's
fast
fine.
as I can.
That's fine.
Okay, where was I?
Go.
Father's Day, Juneteenth, and besides your birthday, Richie, which is Friday, and most importantly, the 20. Well, that's you, Richie, the 6th day of the 6th month. And for me, I'm 3 weeks away. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm 3 weeks away. The 23rd day of the 6th month. My Alexandrite, Cancer, Rose, and yeah. B-Day and National Best Friends Day, National Donuts Day, and a month away to the 4th of July. Yeah. And Pride Month. And it was the 14th is Pride Day. But for Orlando, Florida, our thoughts and prayers are with them. Yep. Okay. And summer's coming. Yep. All right. So that is the month of June, the 6th month of the year. So all right, and yes, happy Pride Month. All right. Okay, and in front of the site and on the limelight. All right, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night. And I do apologize for the delay. What a day.
Maybe it's time for the night to call you, perhaps, you know?
I know.
Instead of calling a night. Okay. Thanks, Dan. Hold on. All right. So, all right, now we can end a cap to this very, very interesting show. Again, we have been doing this since April of 2020, and there's always new stuff happening. That was fun. All right. Hey, but we're gonna be back next Monday. Hopefully, you guys can be part of it. Whether you sign up to read something or play some music, or even just kind of hang out with us in the live chat, it's always fun. If you are if you're watching this after the fact later at some point, leave a comment. Say hello. It's always nice to know who's listening in, and hopefully you're inspired to share something yourself someday. Whether online or even in person. Find us. We have a lot of events this week, all summer long and all throughout the year. This is a stage for you guys. So my name's Rich. I'll see you guys hopefully during the week. I'll be at every single event, obviously. And catch you next Monday for all the online peeps. Have a good night. The live stream.